By the time you turn 70, pause for a moment and ask yourself, who are the 4 people who will stand by your side until the very end? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now answer me. Among those names include yourself? If so, you are part of the 20% of seniors with a strong inner foundation, someone who truly values and supports themselves. As the years go by, people come and go. Some stay only for a season, others quietly drift away. But in the later chapters of life, one truth becomes unmistakably clear. Not everyone is meant to walk with you to the very end. A question emerges that many of us dare not speak aloud. Who will truly be there for you in the end? The Stoic philosopher Seneca once wrote, "Time discovers truth, and in no area is this more evident than in our relationships." Connections that once seemed central may fade, while others, often the most unexpected, reveal themselves as the quiet threads holding life together. In this video, we'll explore 4 types of people who are most likely to remain by your side after 70, the relationships that endure, and the bonds that truly last. What I'm about to share with you isn't just theory. It's wisdom earned through a lifetime, through loving and losing, through joy and grief, through watching who stays when the noise dies down. And the 4th relationship we'll discuss might completely shift how you view your remaining years and the connections you choose to nurture today. Before we begin this journey, pause for a moment and ask yourself, who do you believe will be with you in the end? Keep that answer close. It may evolve as we go. And when you're ready, tap like on this video. Subscribe to the channel helps you stay connected to thoughtful reflections like this. It also helps us grow a community of people who value depth, wisdom, and meaningful connection. What you're about to hear could deepen the way you see the people in your life and how you show up for them too. Let's begin with the first, and perhaps most surprising companion who stays with us to the very end. Number 1. Family members who truly care. The philosopher Confucius once said, "The strength of a nation derives from the integrity of the home." In our later years, that wisdom becomes more than philosophical, it becomes personal. The presence or absence of caring family members becomes a quiet mirror, reflecting a life shaped by connection or marked by gradual isolation. But let's be honest, not all family members stay close. And not all of them offer the kind of love and loyalty that lasts a lifetime. As time reveals what really matters, it becomes clear those who remain are the ones who see you not as an obligation, but as someone who still matters, simply for who you are. And these enduring connections aren't limited to children or grandchildren. Sometimes it's a lifelong sibling bond. Other times, it's an unexpected niece or nephew, or even a cousin who quietly shows up again and again. My friend Elias, now 76, often reflects on his daughter Rachel with quiet gratitude. She lives 2 towns away, balancing a demanding career and raising 2 teenagers. Yet every Sunday evening, without fail, she calls him not out of habit, but to connect. Some weeks their conversations last just 10 minutes. Other times nearly an hour. What mattered most wasn't the length of the call, but the consistency and warmth behind it. Those weekly moments reminded Elias that he still mattered, not because of what he could offer, but simply because he was loved. That's the heart of it. The family who truly stays doesn't just show up, they see you, not as who you were, but as who you are. They don't mistake aging for irrelevance. They understand that your needs aren't smaller, they're just easier to overlook, and so, they pay attention. They're the ones who remember not just your birthday, but how you take your tea, who sits with you in silence when words aren't needed, not because they have to, but because they want to. Because love, at its truest, doesn't look for reward, it simply stays. Modern research backs this up. A study from the National Institute on Aging found that even one deeply supportive family bond boosts well-being, strengthens resilience, and lowers the risk of depression. One person can turn loneliness into belonging. How do we keep these rare, enduring bonds alive? Start with clarity. Say what matters to you. Express appreciation. And don't assume your family knows how to support you. Show them. Then, build shared rituals. Maybe it's a Sunday call, a meal cooked together, a quiet afternoon walk. Whatever the form, let it become the thread that stays strong, even when life changes shape. The truth is, you can't force anyone to stay, but you can create a relationship people want to stay in. And if no one in your family fits that role right now, don't lose hope. As we'll explore in the next section, lasting companionship often appears in unexpected forms. So, who in your family has shown up with real care, especially when it wasn't easy or convenient? Drop their initials or name in the comments, not just as a tribute, but as a reminder that even one consistent heart can make these later years feel deeply full. Number 2. A lifelong friend who stood the test of time. Some relationships aren't tied by blood or bound by duty. They endure because two people chose over and over again to stay in each other's lives. This is the quiet, resilient bond we call true friendship, a companionship forged through seasons of joy and hardship, growth and loss, change and stillness. Unlike family, who may remain present out of obligation or social expectation, a lifelong friend stays by choice. They've seen your best and worst, stood beside you through shifting careers, family transitions, illness, grief, and never walked away. This isn't the friend who faded when things got hard, or who only showed up for the good times. This is someone who stayed when it mattered most. Consider Sir Ian McKellen, now in his 80s, and his enduring friendship with fellow actor Sir Patrick Stewart. Though their bond began later in life, on the set of X-Men in their 60s, it quickly deepened into one of the most admired friendships in public life. Off-screen, they've traveled together, officiated each other's weddings, and continue to speak with affection, wit, and real emotional closeness. Stewart once described McKellen, simply but profoundly, as one of his greatest friends. What makes their relationship remarkable isn't the femmes, the depth, the honesty, and the longevity. This kind of connection becomes more precious with age. A 2021 study published in Psychology and Aging found that older adults with at least one close, enduring friendship showed stronger cognitive performance, lower levels of cortisol, and greater stability in their sense of self. These friendships, researchers noted, act as anchors for personal identity in late adulthood, offering a continuity no doctor, therapist, or even family member can fully replicate. To keep this kind of companionship thriving, stay intentional. Don't let time or distance erode connection. Send the message, make the call, write the note. Be honest. Vulnerability is the currency of real friendship. Share not just your joys, but your fears, your doubts, your truths. Protect the friendship from life's noise. As roles and responsibilities shift, continue to carve out space for connection, even if it's just a shared cup of tea over the phone. In the end, it's not the number of friends that matters, it's whether even one of them walked with you until the end. Number 3. The partner who chose to stay. Michael Caine, now in his 90s, often speaks with quiet reverence about his wife Shakira. Married since 1973, their bond spans over 5 decades, not just marked by endurance, but by mutual evolution. In interviews, Caine credits her with helping him overcome self-destructive habits early in his career, and being his constant source of calm through the storms of fame, aging, and reinvention. Their bond, spanning over 50 years, reflects not just endurance, but mutual growth and presence through every season of life. This is the partner who doesn't just share a home, but shares your fears and hopes, listens even when the story is familiar, and holds space when words fail. In older age, this presence becomes less about grand romantic gestures and more about the everyday grace of knowing someone's still choosing to be here with you. There's a quiet power in growing old, alongside someone who sees you clearly, even as you change. Not the version of you from years ago, but the one you are now. The one with softer edges, slower mornings, and stories worn smooth from retelling. The partner who chose to stay is not merely someone who stayed married. They stayed present. They kept showing up. Yet longevity doesn't guarantee closeness. Many long-term relationships fade with time, held together more by habit than connection. Others, however, deepen. What makes the difference is effort, the small daily choices to keep showing up with honesty, care, and curiosity. Modern studies affirm the importance of this kind of bond. A longitudinal study from Harvard Medical School found that in older adults, the quality of their closest partnership was a stronger predictor of late-life happiness than wealth, social status, or even physical health. As the study famously concluded, good relationships keep us healthier and happier. Period. How do we nurture this sacred connection? Practice shared rituals. A cup of tea at the same time each day, a shared walk, or simply saying, "Thank you for the small things." These create invisible threads of continuity. Allow change. Long partnerships evolve. Let your partner grow. Let yourself grow. Speak the truth about who you're becoming, and listen as they do the same. Choose presence over perfection. It's not about getting everything right. It's about being here, now, fully and willingly. Not everyone will have a romantic partner by their side in old age, but for those who do or who have had one, it's often this relationship that becomes the emotional backbone of life's final chapters. Someone out there may need this reminder. Today, share this video with the person who stayed beside you through seasons of change. And if you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 3 below to let me know you're here. Number 4. The eternal guide, yourself. Do you remember the answer you gave to the question at the beginning of this video? Most people naturally think of family, friends, and loved ones, those who have been present through life's ups and downs. But sometimes, the person who truly endures alongside us through the challenging changes, the unpredictable emotions of aging, and the quiet moments of reflection is no one else but ourselves. The fourth and perhaps most quietly enduring companion who stays with you in the final chapters of life isn't another person at all. It's the voice you've carried within you all along, the accumulated wisdom of your lived experience. This is the moment I promised you at the beginning, the insight that just might shift how you see the years ahead. When we spoke earlier about the 4 kinds of people who remain, this one might have sounded surprising. But the older we grow, the more we realize some of the most faithful relationships we have are not external, but internal. Throughout youth and middle age, we often reach outward for approval, advice, validation. We ask experts, read books, and consult mentors. And all of that is important. But there comes a time, often after 70, when those voices grow quieter. And in that quiet, something unexpected begins to speak. You. Carl Jung once wrote, "Who looks outside, dreams. Who looks inside, awakes." And that awakening often comes not as thunder, but as a whisper. My friend Eleanor, a retired corporate executive, once shared a moment of quiet clarity she experienced at 78. Faced with the important decision of where to spend her remaining years, she initially did what she had always done: gathered expert opinions, read countless reports, and consulted others. Yet none of the answers felt truly right. Eventually, She realized she had been looking outward for something only her inner self could answer. After nearly 8 decades of living, she began to trust that she already knew what fulfillment looked like. She spent the following week in deep reflection, what she called conversations with herself, listening more than thinking. In the end, her choice surprised everyone. Rather than move to the highly recommended retirement facility, she chose to stay in her modest home, close to familiar neighbors and simple routines that gave her peace. It wasn't a decision made to impress. It was one made to feel at home, within and without. This is the gift of inner wisdom. It doesn't compete for attention, but it never leaves your side. Modern psychology calls this deepening of perspective gerotranscendencia, natural shift in later life toward inner focus, meaning-making, and connection with something larger than the self. Research published in the Journal of Aging Studies shows that this internal shift is strongly correlated with higher life satisfaction, better emotional regulation, and even improved health outcomes in older adults. In what ways can we nurture and strengthen this inner relationship? Begin with stillness. Just 5 minutes of silence in the morning can reconnect you with what matters. Ask meaningful questions, not what's right, but what's true for you. Honor what arises. Not every answer will be easy, but many will be wise. Your inner voice has walked with you through every loss and victory, and in the end, when other voices fade, it's this one that often becomes the most faithful companion. Because the most enduring voice in your life might just be your own. Conclusion. As we near the end of this reflection, let's pause to remember what these 4 enduring relationships reveal, not just about who stays, but about what truly matters. The family members who choose you not out of duty, but out of love. The lifelong friend who has weathered decades by your side. The partner who continues to show up day after day through every season of change. And the eternal guide, yourself, that almost you forgot. In our later years, it's not the loudest relationships that endure, but the most quietly consistent. The truth is, we don't always get to choose who remains, but we do get to appreciate those who do. The ones who stay are not always the ones we expect. And as the years pass, the number of those who remain may grow smaller. But in the end, it isn't about quantity. It's about the quality of the relationships that endure. The ones who stay are the ones who value you, respect you, and see you for who you truly are. They are the ones who remind you that no matter how much time passes, you are not alone. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please like, subscribe, and share this video. Your support helps me continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Leave a comment below and share one thing you learned today and how you plan to use it in your life. Your thoughts are important to me, so don't hesitate to share them. Thanks for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.